Recently, I've been making more and more non-JoJo related content, and it seems I'm starting to escape the fate of Roblox JoJo YouTubers. And because of my recent videos, I've made about 30 anime skills with currently no purpose. So I decided instead of letting these scripts go to waste, I'll go make an anime game with them. So first I tried to import a map I made for a previous game, and it immediately crashed my studio. And it really didn't fit the vibe I'm going for, so I decided to just make my own new map. I am by no means great at making maps, although I have made a few from my previous games, and what I seem to enjoy making the most are desert maps, which is why two of my games both have desert-based maps. Although of course I have no capabilities to model using Blender, so I'll be using free meshes from the toolbox to improve the map. I also made a small shed to put NPCs in. And then I made a pillar, added aesthetic colors in the lighting. I then placed the pillars to surround the desert. Now that I got the map settled, I'll need to make a progression system. I could have just made it a bandit beater, but that's kinda boring. So I decided to make it a boss rush progression. Basically, instead of beating a bandit repeatedly, you beat a boss. And I'm quite known to make really annoying bosses. To trigger these bosses, you have to interact with their corresponding item. To test this progression, I imported the boss I made a while ago, Nekoark. Like I said earlier, to trigger a boss battle, you have to interact with their item. In this case, it's a weird cat doll. Upon interacting with their item, you immediately get teleported into the boss room and get your butt kicked. So yeah, fighting this boss may prove to be a challenge. So now that we got a prototype boss done, the next necessary thing would be a goal or a purpose. Why would people want to play this game? No one would, it's garbage. Well, to fight and beat bosses to gain cool anime skills, I guess. So let's make another boss. This time I'll be forming the model myself, and by forming I meant using cool free meshes to make the boss model. I added some rugged armor and accessories because it gives some Dark Souls vibe into it, and I like that game. After that I worked on the boss room, which is a gigantic cage, with other large cages inside of it and some chains. I then added the boss and set up the hitboxes, which is of course by using dot touch, because I'm stupid. The first skill of the boss is a simple slash, since remember, this will be one of the starting bosses, so it shouldn't be that hard. I finished the skill fairly quick due to it being simple. Now if you're familiar with my content, something is wrong with this skill. It lacks particle emitters. If you're new here, I have crippling particle addiction and like to put as many particles I could in a skill. And so I used my particle pack. By the way, this particle pack is free, the link is in the description. Now the next move is a flip. First the boss goes on a stance for seconds, then does a flip towards you. The after effect or the explosion at the end was from a skill I made a while ago. Now lastly, I'll give him a ranged move, so I just pasted Byakuya's skill onto him, since I have a lot of skills already made previously anyway. So I can possibly release this game with this small amount of content. So I just made more bosses and made some of the bosses take longer to spawn. One of the bosses is a cockroach monster dog thing, and it was hellish to make since stuff like this keep happening.
What the dog doing?
I eventually cured its continuous seizure attacks, and this boss is pretty quick, and if it touches you, you get fleas and take damage, I guess. So a trick for this boss would be to run away and use the cages to get the boss stuck for a few seconds. Since I recently made the Rengoku skills, I made the Rengoku raid boss that spawns every 20 minutes. All the skills are the same as the player's obtainable flame breathing, but with just significantly lower cooldowns. He also uses 9th form when he reaches 350 health, and his 9th form deals significantly more damage than normal. And the last boss for this video is an Iron Maiden that keys fire and falls over every time. Yeah, that's it for this vid.